found on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. Fielded right around the 8. And nowhere to go. He only makes it to the 5.
That return, it will not be on the postseason highlight reel. If you're the offensive coordinator, you've just changed your play calling because you thought you might have some field to work with. Instead, now, you've got to call plays that won't make mistakes.
Listen to me.
Play fake. Cousins. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got him in. Complete. A big play there on the first play of the game. 43 yards. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they have this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Now Sterling Hoffrichter set to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. He was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They had a good drive going their first time out, ended with the interception. The good news is they get kind of a mulligan because we're still at 0-0.
They certainly do, and you notice he spent a lot of time on the phone. You know, I know he wasn't talking to mom and dad on that when he was talking to the eyes upstairs, talking to the coaching staff. Guaranteed, what did you see? What was I doing? How do we make sure that doesn't happen again in this ball game?
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. Touchdown! Cordell Patterson. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. He's got it to the 43 here. The Eagles hit 5 and 10 now on the year, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
On 3rd down, Cousins. They'll get this to Nwangu. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 32-yard line. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, Nwangu. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll go right back to Nwangu. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. These two teams all tied after one. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Off the play fake, Cousins. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Nick Bonito in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly. That leads to a play action sack.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb.
And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
On 2nd and 9, Corral. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Here's Chubb on the read option. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Corral on 2nd down. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And the Eagles force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Nwangu going to get it on the counter.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about him for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Another run now for Nwangu. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now a give, running left is Nwangu. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Cousins. He'll find Nwangu underneath. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Handoff here to Nwangu.
This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this 1st half. On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Cousins now. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. On play action, Cousins. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Elliott good with a PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Bulldozes past him. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14. They run again on first down, Chubb. And he's got room. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Fakes a handoff. Now Corral to throw it.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Chubb on the counter.
Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Corral.
And Ingram holds it in. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Chubb will get the call running left. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
84 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes that's a danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Now Corral on 3rd and 2. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And that's caught inside the 35.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. Called out a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now Cousins. Open man, there is Patterson, complete. Touchdown, Eagles. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Third down, Corral. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. On the give is Nwangu, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll look to run with Nwangu. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. From the 24, Corral. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Corral. He's going to try and go deep again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Eagles are going to take over here up near the 40. But just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception. And this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
First play's a run with Nwangu. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Taking in left side, it's Wilson.
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Garrett Wilson.
46 yards.
And the Eagles are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and look at every error that they made and figure out how to navigate in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out?
Yeah, this Michael Jackson beat it.
Hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Corral
You so cute, they got it. Well, that big old play.
Don't it?
Yeah. You know when the meals move and just start.
Come around here. You better disappear too.
The fires in their eyes, their words are really clear. So beat it, just beat it. You better run, you better
Do what you can.
don't wanna see no blood, don't be
You
a
bunch of man.
you wanna be tough.
You do what you can, so beat it. It's gonna be bad, just beat it. It doesn't matter. Just beat it. Beat it. Woo! Beat it. I know, that's crazy.
You wanna stay alive, better do what you can. So beat it,
Nope.
just beat it. Just show them that you're really not scared. You play your life the same.
No truth to dare,
They'll kick you, then they beat you, they'll tell you it's fair.
so beat it. You wanna be bad, so beat it.
Beat it now. Beat it.
That's it, now then.
Just beat it.
It's just right. Beat it, beat it. Oh, they cheated. That's right. Just beat it. Beat it.
Takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the
I tried to throw the ball.
set up shop in enemy territory.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Anything he could to get that final little bit for the first down instead of rush the ball.
He was sure of the first down, but not that much. Trying his best as you know. Did you get there? Sometimes I like to overcontest it.
I was working part-time in a 5 and dime. My boss was Mr. McGee. He told me several times that he didn't like the kind. I was mentally eagerly. Seems that I was busy doing something close to nothing, but different than the day before. That's when I saw it. She walked in really outdoor. She wore a red, very parade. The kind you find in a second hand store. Red, very my plan to do any harm. So look here, I put on the back of my bike and ride down my old man Johnson's farm.
Into a game situation.
And now overcast day never turned me on. Something about the clouds and her mix.
Okay, that's enough.
And this win now going to look a little more lopsided on the scoreboard, CD. Now, some may have run out the clock in that scenario, but they wanted to put their foot on the gas, get one more touchdown, and they did just that.
Well, partner, I would say the traditionalists not overly excited about that score. They'd like to see the game played a little bit differently. But what you can't argue with is their execution of that play, because it played out exactly as it was drawn up. It almost would have been a shame not to finish with such a well-run play.
He's at the 50, 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Falcons. He goes 105 yards on the kick return, and the Falcons get a bit closer. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's going.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow, knocked him for a loss.
Give left side here for Nwangu. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. They go play action. Cousins. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. 20, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
One final play for Corral.
And it's incomplete. It was an exercise in futility anyway. It doesn't affect the final outcome. And this one's over. So they tried to tack on 2 more. Wouldn't have mattered as far as who won and who lost, but that's how this one ends.
Felt like cosmetics, didn't it? Just put another 2 points on the board, make the score look a little bit better. Maybe they wanted to run a 2-point conversion just to see what they had. Who knows? But it just wasn't necessary.